Hi, I'm Mary Jo. I have been a nurse for 51 years. I have lost over 100 pounds as a postmenopausal woman and reversed chronic disease in my life. Today, I thought you might be interested in meeting another plant based doctor who was diagnosed as a teenager with lupus erythematosus and began, even though she did go into remission, began a significantly downward trek with kidney disease and excessive development of clots and potential for strokes, and told that she probably wouldn't live past her 30s. This remarkable woman decided that life was extremely important. Perhaps it came in part from her grandmother, who had survived Nazi concentration camps of war and had a very special appreciation for life and taught Brooke things may happen, but it's all your choice on how you wish to react to them. And you can always find something to appreciate in the moment. And pretty much, Dr. Goldner has chosen to live her life that way. She wanted to help people, she wanted to help sick people, and so she did the only thing she could. She became a physician. I think she's not only a medical doctor, but I think she's a psychiatrist as well. So she has some beautiful ideas related to assisting people on an emotional level. This is a book she has written. It's called Goodbye Lupus. There's her picture, and she's famous or infamous for her green smoothie, which is also right there on the cover. This is a relatively thin book. It's a very easy read. She has 6 major points that people should avoid all animal foods, and she identifies that includes eggs and dairy. She discusses the inflammatory nature of excessive amounts of IGF-1 stimulated by animal protein and of the impact of saturated fat on the body, including to diminish symbiotic bacteria of the gastrointestinal system. She has a side note on dairy because it increases estrogens, which always increases the risk of cancer, and also because dairy milk has been complemented with children who have a genetic predisposition to the development of type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. It is thought that the protein in cow's milk can evoke an antibody reaction, and that the antigens in cow's milk resemble the antigens of the beta cells of the pancreas, so that this antibody, if you will, attacks the pancreas and the beta cells. And if the beta cells are destroyed, that's type 1 diabetes, because that is the part of the body that creates insulin. And now this person needs lifelong insulin to support their physiologic processes. So you can see that she does produce some interesting information about the inflammatory response of the body to animal products. She also talks about oils. Oils should be avoided at all costs, even extra virgin olive oil, which still contains a significant portion of saturated fat. It is not just a complex omega-3s, it has more omega-6s in them, with an opportunity to produce an inflammatory response and encourage the production of an inflammatory molecule called arachidonic acid. The third plank is to eliminate processed foods. Now, processed foods, what the heck are they all about? Well, I can tell you this. They have been designed to addict your palate, so you just want to eat more and more and more of them. They have no nutrient value, a high caloric intake, and are perfect for creating a human eating machine. And also encouraging a lot of weight gain, which is not the person's fault. Anyway, so avoid animal products, oil, and also processed foods. That all makes total sense. The next three portions of her plan are hyper-nourish your body. Now, a lot of these people come to her and they've been eating a standard American diet, which primary problem is it doesn't have any nutrients it has minimal nutrients in it. And your body does what it can for a while. And sometimes I'm amazed at how much our bodies will rebalance themselves and keep going despite this essential abuse and lack of nutrition. So how do you hyper nourish the body? Well, her plan is to create a green smoothie. She suggests somebody get a high powered mixer. This is part of my Vitamix, and put like 75% greens in it. She even puts greens in it, smashes them down, and put more greens in it. She suggests you use 2 tablespoons of flax and or chia seeds ground so that the oils are appropriately released into the solution. She also suggests you buy the whole seed rather than the ground seed, then grind them just before eating them to preserve the nutrients within. And that's probably an optimum way of eating chia and flax seeds. However, I sometimes can be lazy and will buy it ground, but then I put it in my freezer to try to sustain it while I'm using the package. Anyway, then 25% is fruit. And Dr. Goldner says it takes a little sugar to make the medicine go down. Now, she created this because it's an intention of providing clients with a large quantity of nutrition, and it tastes good. She finds that her clients very much enjoy the green smoothie and have no problems with drinking it. She suggests that you make a whole pitcher full, and remember, these are people depleted of nutrients, and drink it throughout the day. But the first portion of it is probably a good idea for breakfast. Now, I went ahead and made her green smoothie. I made one with mangoes, one with blueberries and cherries, and one with strawberries. And she's right. They are very, very tasty. My only problem is I like to chew my food and enjoy the entire eating experience. However, if I make a smaller smoothie, because I'm going to eat this giant salad at lunch, what I find wonderful is that if I drink it in the morning, I agree with her. She said you don't need caffeine in the morning to wake up. The green smoothie will wake you up. She is 100% correct, at least in my personal experience. I was like, whoa, I'm ready to go. So I'm rather enjoying green smoothies in the morning. I don't drink the same portion that she suggests to, but that's because I'm so plant-based the rest of the day. And she doesn't, people can be very concerned about giving up foods that they have delighted in all their life. And because of this resistance, she advises her clients to create this green smoothie with mostly greens, some fruit, and some flax and chia seed for omega-3 benefit, and to drink it throughout the day, and first portion perhaps for breakfast, and if they want to eat other things, eat other things. She is not going to she doesn't tell them, I don't really know what she tells them, but initially it's like they want a hamburger, they can go have a hamburger. The idea is they're getting a significant quantity of nutrients, and they're going to start healing their bodies. Can they get all the way well with just the green smoothie and doing whatever else they want? No, they can't. But they start to feel so much better, and they start to desire to be completely well. And being completely well means going 100% plant-based, according to Dr. Goldner, or at least my perception of what she has to say. This smoothie really fills people up. I can tell you that from personal experience. And what's interesting about it is that it crowds out some of those foods that produce inflammation. In her experience with her clients, people are compliant with the green smoothie. They always start to feel better. They eventually move to a more high-powered diet, and then they can become well altogether. It is amazing how remarkable healing the body is when you give it the correct amount of nutrients. Anyway, so nutrition is her fourth plank. The fifth plank is make sure you get adequate omega-3s. She suggests that a tablespoon of flax and a tablespoon of chia will do that, as well as diminished animal products and oils, so that because the enzyme that creates EPA and DHA for omega-3 is the same enzyme that creates arachidonic acid and gamma linoleic acid from omega-6s. And when there's competition for this enzyme and there's a high quantity of omega-6s, the enzyme goes to the omega-6s and you end up with depleted DHA and EPA. So it is her contention when taking omega-3s in chia and flaxseed form without the competition for the delta-6 desaturase that you should be able to make enough EPA and DHA. There are some other doctors out there who have found some of their clients having some difficulties with adequate amount of omega-3s, even with eating a high nutrient plant-based diet. So just make sure you take best care of yourself, because diminished omega-3s are associated with neurological disorders, particularly those associated with aging. So get your omega-3s. Do you need a supplement? I take one for nutritional insurance. I don't know. The best way to find out would be to make sure you're getting your flax and chia seed, and then have an omega-3 index run. Unfortunately, oftentimes insurance companies will not pay for it, so it might have to come out of pocket. That's the problem with it. The sixth plank of her program is drink water, drink water, drink water, drink water. Now, she married a gentleman named Thomas Tadlock, and Thomas was a computer science guru, and he changed to exercise physiology. And what's really interesting was she had had these ups and downs with lupus. They fall in love. She tells him about her potential limited longevity on this earth. He wants to get married no matter what. She said, okay, we'll get married, make me buff. And so he designed a nutritional plan for her based on the tenets that this book discusses, that also included certain types and times and amounts of exercise. And she succeeded on becoming exactly what she wanted to in terms of physicality, but found out that all of a sudden she was feeling really, really good. Goes to the doctor. She has no indication of lupus, no indication of kidney disease. She has no coagulation problems. She said it took a while of talking to her family and her doctor to get her off medications, because they kept thinking, well, this doesn't go away by itself. It's going to come back, and we don't want you to be unprotected. She finally convinced them and stopped taking medications. And I think at the time this book was published, which is relatively recently, she has been at least 10 years or more. I think it's more than 10 years free of lupus. No indication. This woman's supposed to die of lupus and kidney disease in her 30s, is now something like 47. She is energetic. She is filled with life. She is just fun to listen to and to converse with. She currently has classes online to teach her program to people who are interested. So that is Brooke Goldner in a nutshell. I think the book is very interesting. I think the green smoothie is a great idea. It's one approach to changing the way someone chooses to eat. Also, I keep thinking this is such a treat, this smoothie. Children will love it, and much better for them than a candy bar, let me tell you. So, here's to your good health. Remember, this is all about you. I hope you have enjoyed this broadcast, and with love and appreciation in my heart for all you are and all you do for the rest of us, I thank you for your generosity of time to listening to this conversation. Have a beautiful and wonderful day. Goodbye from Nurse Mary Jo.